I read these things, Tai Chi and Qi-Gong, and they talk about quite a lot about Qi, the energy. And this is probably the first time that I got familiar with it. Life force, yes.
Yeah.
Got introduced to the concept. I'm like, huh, what? Interesting. And I read on. And so they did Tai Chi, which is, well, patterns, and they did Qi-Gong. And Qi-Gong was breathing gymnastics. And they call it iron vest, which supposedly protects your body, builds up your body's resilience, and they test it in a particular way. So it's a breathing gymnastics that supercharges your body's ability to protect itself against physical and mental force. And by physical force, they run an exam, which consisted of 3 parts. First, you sit down in a lotus pose. They stack 3 bricks on top of your head, and the master smashes it with a sledgehammer. And there are videos. I'm like, yes, that's my reaction. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there are pictures and there are videos. So imagine like a little fragile girl, by the looks of it, sitting with a stack of 3 proper red bricks on top of the head, master behind her, and just pow. And the bricks just get pulverized, evaporate. They just fly in this slow-mo.
But the sledgehammer doesn't continue onto her head?
Oh, no. And she stands up and walks away. I'm like, huh?
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly, right? Second part of the exam, they put you in a sandwich.
But this is like, once you've completed Qi-Gong, you can...
Yeah. So this is the demonstration of the ability, right?
Yeah.
Was not the entry exam. No. Second part is the iron sandwich, where you have this board with millions of nails, sharp nails, pam, 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 pam. They put you lay on it. They put another sandwich on top of you, and then they put another person on top of the sandwich.
Hey!
So they squish you between those millions of nails, yet you come out unscathed. And number 3 is they give you a spear. A spear, I couldn't tell how sharp that was. It ended up being pretty sharp. And the sharp edge, you put in this pit in your neck. And the dull edge of the spear, you put into a bumper of a car in neutral.
Yeah.
And your goal is to push the car in neutral on flat ground with pressing the spear against this part of your body to make it move.
That's ridiculous.
I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, okay, I'm sold. New year, new me. What could go wrong?
Oh, bro. Is that like, not to skip steps, but is this stuff real?
No, I mean, let's hear it. So I show up to first class, and I can see that the setup is very cultish in a sense, where there is a master's wife who's very like the cardinal, like very, very authoritative, and she actually runs the show, and the master is like kind of like silently agrees. There is obedience. There is kind of like no questioning, but also, and people are like a family kind of thing. And they introduced me to the technique was great. I felt fantastic doing the Tai Chi. So the first part of the training was Tai Chi first pattern, which is, I think, 15-20 minutes long sequence of moves, which I eventually learned, and I loved it. And then the Qi-Gong part, where you do weird breathing gymnastics and exercises, including bumping your head, top of your head against the wall in a particular way, standing, doing headstand without the help of hands. So essentially, you're leaning up like a log.
Like a plank.
A plank against the wall, just standing, like supporting your entire body's weight on the tip of your skull.
Mad.
Right? And other exercises.
Did you do that?
Yes. I'm like, I love it. That's interesting. So, and I made some friends.
Yeah.
Which was always nice, right? Because they were all talking about that and the spirituality and like that, what you mentioned, that specialness in a way, wielding that special Qi. Because the Tai Chi is about actually feeling the Qi, like the little tingles traveling around your body and meridian system. And It was always hard for me, but this was the start of my journey.
And
right?
if you go back to that mysterious Russian aura, that energy, what was it called?
Mysterious Russian soul. Yeah.
Yeah, that. I mean, there's nothing more mysterious, mysterious energy soul thing than this kind of stuff, right?
I mean, it was Chinese after all.
Chinese tea, but the Indians have it as well. The prana.
Did it fuel that hidden secret fire? Probably did.
You're walking out of this random warehouse in Moscow and you go on the street and you're like, look at these cretins that drink alcohol and have casual sex. They don't know what kind of superhero I am.
Yeah, there was a meme template that where people are fighting and the guy stands in the corner. That was me.
That's it.
Yeah, that was all of us, not just me, I think. So 6 months later, it was January where I started, straight after New Year's. 6 months, they were holding an exam.
Where they do the bricks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't I... I asked the teacher, do you think I'm ready? Do I think I'm ready? And I've been doing it for 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
I would say religiously, but I was really into that. And I actually got physically stronger because one of those breathing gymnastics involves push-ups on the fingers, right? Not just palms, but fingers, like proper push-ups with specific breathing. I loved it. I actually became physically stronger doing that. And he was like, yeah, you can. Because you've been trained a lot and 6 months is enough. I'm like, well, I guess we're doing it. Come day of the exam, I was pretty nervous.
Bro,
and it was not just me doing the test. It was quite a few people, and we were cheering for each other. And there were no injuries. Like
so, they did the bricks with the sledgehammers.
I have a picture of me, like the bricks evaporating on top of my head. They were real bricks, and it was like, whoa.
And a real sledgehammer.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I have a video of me pushing the car with a spear in my throat, and the car actually wheels moving. Yeah. So.
But if I do that, that spear's going to go through my throat, right?
I presume so. We can try.
But when you do, because if you've actually done this, when you're about to receive the sledgehammer blow, you're pushing the car. Are you doing Tai Chi and shit when you're doing it? Like, what's the idea?
Yes. You have a mode that you need to go into. Like, you visualize a particular energy shield that you put in the area that gets affected here or here, and it protects you.
And that's what you're practicing up against the wall. That's what you're practicing.
Pretty much, yes. And no one was injured. I wasn't injured. I mean, like, if you look from like purely scientific perspective right now, if I tell like a neurosurgeon that, hey, I did this, like they smashed a stack of 3 bricks on my head, and again, I have evidence, right?
Yeah.
They say, what a dumb idea. Like, you get a brain concussion, and what the fuck are you even doing? And I'm like, yeah, I see your point. But I was dumb and insecure, and I wanted to make friends, and that cult environment made you feel like a part of the family. You know, what could go wrong? And I loved it. So, hey, yes,